Let's do a check on where we're at with this What If series.
Sure.
What do you think? All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Since I wanted to do a check, I think you might have an idea for where I'm at. But where are you at with these? What do you think of them?
What do you mean by do I like it or do I dislike it?
Yeah.
This episode I particularly liked. I thought this episode redeemed it very well. And you don't agree, do you?
I do not.
Really?
Yeah. No.
You did not like this episode.
This is a down. For me, it's been a roller coaster. First episode was up, second was down, third was up, and then this one, the fourth is down for me again.
So wait, the third one, what was the third one? What was the last one?
The third one was what if all of the heroes died?
And you liked that one.
I did.
Okay. And that's interesting. But this one you dislike.
Yeah, it just didn't grab me.
Okay, so tell me why you don't like it.
I've been thinking about why I don't like it, and I think this is the reason. And this kind of goes back to Loki. I think I just don't like the way that Marvel has decided to deal with time travel in the MCU.
So you felt weird about some of the logical plot hole stuff?
No, it's the in this episode what really, I thought like the time travel stuff was really cool. Actually. But what really stood out for me in this episode was there's an immovable event? What they call it? Something like that?
Man, I wish you wouldn't ask me. Absolute, I don't remember.
Absolute, I think.
Yeah, absolute event. Something that has to happen in that universe. To happen.
It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I don't like it. And
okay,
yeah, I just think it ruins what could be better storytelling. I think maybe it's a crutch they're using.
Let's go back and look at. There's a couple of things we have to talk about. So let's talk about the plot for this episode first. In the plot for this episode, Doctor Strange, instead of his hands being crushed, which put him on the path of becoming Doctor Strange, the magician. I don't like the word magician. The sorcerer.
Yeah.
Instead, what's her face? What's her name? Christine. Is that Christine died? So she's
there's
in the car.
There's two Christines in this apparently.
Yeah, I saw the IMDb's too. I don't understand.
I don't remember Christine Everhart.
Me neither. You know what? Let's not even worry about that because who knows who that was. Let's just try to forget as hard as we can.
Okay.
But there's Christine. Yeah, so that's Christine, and instead of Doctor Strange crushing his hands, which put him on the path to be the sorcerer, she dies, which put him on that path. Now, listen, there are a few problems with this. Here's the first one. In the original Doctor Strange movie, Christine saves Doctor Strange's life. In this universe, she's not there to do that. So who did do it? So that's a really good question. We don't know because we don't get to see the whole movie in this episode. And two, I don't know if this is a plot hole. There's a bunch of different plot holes, but essentially, in this universe, in this What If universe, if Doctor Strange, Christine dies, Doctor Strange gets really upset after a while, and she uses the time gem to go back in time to try to fix it, and he can't because in that universe, she has to die in order to make him become the Sorcerer Supreme. If she doesn't die, he can't do what he has to do. And so I guess in the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper, then he has to crush his hands. So if he would get that Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange that we know from the movies, if he tried to use the time gem to save his hands, he would also find that impossible.
Right.
Okay, I got
that. We
assume.
I mean, you can't have every universe isn't going to have the same absolute event.
Exactly. But you know what? They do, maybe, because of Thanos, right? Like throughout the Marvel
might not even
comics,
be Thanos in this universe. Who knows?
Well, that's true because we have had one of the what ifs where Thanos turns out to be a good guy.
Right.
But I'm assuming that Doctor Strange in this episode has become Doctor Strange in order to save the universe because he is one of the people that were part of the team to stop Thanos in the Marvel
in this episode,
movies.
What the Ancient One says is that he has to be the Sorcerer Supreme, or I don't know. He has to be a sorcerer so that he can save the universe from Dormammu.
Well then after he does that, yeah, okay, that's a good point. Okay.
After he does that, he could save Christine.
But no, he can't save Christine at all. He can't save Christine. If he does, he won't become the Sorcerer Supreme, and nobody will be there to save Dormammu.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox.
Right.
Right? And you don't like that.
No, it's the absolute event that I don't like.
Well, it's a new thing they made up. We never heard about it before until just now.
Right.
But and so, yeah,
there was definitely something like that flavor was in Loki as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I can understand why you don't. I don't know. It seems weird to me. Feels lazy.
Yeah.
In this universe, like, why does that have to happen? And okay, it does happen. Stephen Strange does become the Sorcerer Supreme, and what's the end result of that? He annihilates the universe.
Well,
great. Your absolute event worked out really well. I don't know who is setting these absolute events, but awesome. Good job.
He destroyed the universe because he tried to break a rule he wasn't supposed to break. That's how he destroyed the universe.
But why wasn't there an absolute event that he couldn't break that rule?
No, okay, it is okay, the whole system in place in this episode is designed to create the thing that the writers and the directors and the producers wanted, which is this place where Doctor Strange, destroys the universe because of his love for Christine. Like, and it is what it is. But like, I do understand that this new rule, they could actually create two new rules. The first one is this absolute event, and the second is that what's her face? The old one, the ancient one. She could come back. She could live. All right. She could be an echo of herself. So all of a sudden she's alive, and then she could separate. She could make two timelines in the same timeline, which she did. She made one timeline where there's a normal Doctor Strange and another timeline where there's a crazy Doctor Strange. We didn't know that could exist either, So and we get for the first time, we get the Watcher talking, Uatu talking to Doctor Strange at the very end. We never got that either. And I got a couple theories behind that. So yeah, we get a bunch of new concepts. But this is what I've been looking for the what ifs.
Yeah.
This episode did what I've been hoping they would do.
What's that?
Is do something completely like out of realm of possibilities for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is something completely different than Doctor Strange the movie or anything. And this is something brand new that's a complete different concept. And I loved it. I absolutely love this episode. It finally was doing what I wanted it to do.
Oh, glad to hear that. Glad you liked it.
Well, I mean, it's like there's two things here that
I liked parts of it.
Well, first, the guy that the temple, the library of Cagliostro, whatever. Cagliostro is actually from the comics. We finally get a character from the comics.
We hear a name drop. It's a name drop from the comics.
It's not just a name drop. It's the actual dude, the guy he was interacting with. He's actually from the comic books.
No, that's not Cagliostro.
Yes, it is. He goes by the name of O-Bengh.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's why we do this podcast.
Yes, that we do.
So in the episode, they don't tell us that. They just say he says these are the books of Cagliostro, and I'm the librarian for them.
But he's definitely Cagliostro because in the comics he goes by the name of O-Bengh.
Okay, all right.
So that's
so there you go, podcast listeners.
Finally, after so long of waiting, what else was there? There was one more thing that I thought was interesting too. Oh, the concept of Doctor Strange being power hungry. You remember that scene where Doctor Strange is absorbing all those different entities into himself?
Yeah. That was
it was a very long scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is not exactly what happens in the comics, but Doctor Strange has done that before. He has meddled with magics to make himself stronger, and it's been like a moral problem for him in the Marvel comics, like Marvel comics and the books. They're like, he's like, this is bad. This magic's bad and dark, and it's going to corrupt me, but it's going to make me powerful to do good things.
That's his version of dipping into the dark dimension, like the previous Sorcerer Supreme did.
Yeah, no, 100%. So it means it's a concept that the shows and the movies with Doctor Strange, even the comics, keeps talking about. Is it okay to deal with darkness and evil if you can use that evil and darkness for good?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. And this what if episode
This
kind
what
of
if
delved
episode
into it.
says no, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you do, you might destroy the
Yeah,
universe.
you're gonna destroy the universe if you do it.
Yeah. And also too, one more thing, it destroys the idea that all these people are going to come together and fight as a team. That's not going to happen because this guy's dead. You know, it's all gone. You know, so it doesn't matter.
So the that sequence that you were talking about with him absorbing power from all of the different creatures.
Yeah,
he didn't do. You said he kind of did something like that. Is it?
There's been a couple comics where he's like worked with dark magic and during the Plant Hulk saga, he did get power from Dormammu as itself at some point. But like just like there's never been a time where he spent centuries absorbing demons. That didn't happen in the comics. But
did any of those creatures stand out to you?
No.
No,
none of those from comics.
What about the
Even
Leprechaun?
though they looked cool, no, none of them. No, it was just funny. It was just a funny scene, but not like I bet I could probably spend some time trying to track it, but I didn't see any kind of obvious connections from the comics in that.
Bug with a cape?
Nope, no bugs with capes. Even though there's probably should be now.
All right, mini-eyed raven.
That scene where he's like, you know, I don't do bugs, so he took the cape but then killed the bug. Like, what are you talking about? You're absorbing like squids. You're absorbing like these crazy monsters, but you won't absorb a bug. Like that's just the weirdest thing.
That was Cthulhu that he took the tentacles from.
Yeah, but they can't. I think because of rights, they can't say Cthulhu.
Why?
Because they don't own the rights to Cthulhu.
Cthulhu is public domain, isn't it?
I bet Marvel doesn't even want to touch that. I bet somebody owns it.
Has Cthulhu been in like various comic books or something?
Yeah, he's been in a Hellboy and a couple others.
Okay,
Cthulhu's. Yeah, I bet Marvel's like this. We can make it Cthulhu, but let's not call him Cthulhu.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was a cool sequence. I took notes on like what most of the things were. I was wondering if there was anything you could tell us about that, but okay.
Sadly, I know. I looked down. I was like nothing.
The Leprechaun was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's confirmed Leprechauns are canon in the MCU now.
That's true.
There was a really cool thing with the fight scene between Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange. So the good Doctor Strange had these runes on his face for protection.
That Wong gave him.
That was a brand new like. So if you looked at this episode and then looked at the movies, like most of the concepts of the magic concepts and magic totems and the way they used it is from the movies. And I guess now we can maybe possibly see a time where Doctor Strange has those runes on his face. Maybe we'll see that.
Maybe. Yeah.
I thought that fight scene was really well done.
Yeah, the Strange fight scene reminded me kind of the Loki fight scene from the previous episode. Right?
Wait. No.
The previous What If?
Because only thing Loki did was use that ice box to freeze people. He didn't do any magic. Oh, with Dr. Pym.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's the same animation studio, the same people producing it, directing it, so I can see that. But it actually reminded me of the Thanos Doctor Strange fight from Avengers: Infinity War. That's what it reminded me of. The same kind of back and forth, the same kind of
I don't remember that much right now.
Well, don't worry, you will be seeing it real soon. You've got to do a podcast on that pretty soon. It's coming up, yeah. But
I'll tell you the Strange saving Christine sequence in this What If episode reminded me of the Dormammu sequence from the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool callback.
So in the MCU, we didn't know how powerful the time gem could be, and in the movies, the time gem never did what he was using it for in this episode. But in the comics, the time gem definitely could. However, it would have been only temporary. It wouldn't have been able to last. So there's a little bit of problems with the power levels of the time gem. So I mean, we could probably work that out, but. Overall, I thought it was a successful episode. Here, I'm curious. Let's do a little thought experiment before we move on.
Okay.
I'm going to get a list of all the episodes so far. And I want you to give me a grade for them.
A through F? or stars?
Yeah,
like
five
stars.
Let's do stars.
Okay.
I think stars is a little more fun.
Yeah, stars.
All right, so episode 1 is the Captain Carr episode. Well, how many stars would you give it?
That's tough. It was a great episode. It's definitely my favorite. Is it 4 or 5 stars though? 5 stars, maybe just because of how good it was and how much I enjoyed it. But maybe 4 stars because it created this expectation that the rest of the episodes hasn't met.
You have to give it a grade.
I'm gonna go with a 4 then.
Okay, I'd give it 4.5.
Okay,
4.5 stars.
Yeah.
What if T'Challa became a Star-Lord?
2 stars. None of these are a 1 star, I don't think.
Okay, I would give T'Challa a 3 stars. Even I would almost give it a 3.5 because of Chadwick's good voice acting. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes?
Silly for me.
Yeah, it was pretty silly. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? How many stars?
It's gonna have to be like a 3.5.
2 for me, 2. Solid 2.
Okay.
Okay, and then Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
I can see why people like this one. I just didn't. And I actually tried watching it a second time to see if it would grab me the second time, because I can definitely see why people like it.
You gotta give it a grade.
I'm giving it a high. I'm thinking while I'm talking. This is a tactic called stalling. Okay.
I'm giving it 5 stars. I don't know. I couldn't. You can't ask for anything more than this.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go. I gave the second one a 2. Right. I'm gonna go with 2.5 on this one.
All right. And here's some spoilers for so audience, if you're listening and you don't want to be spoiled, I do have 4 episodes, almost 5 episodes listed here for IMDb. So if you don't want to be spoiled, close your ears or stop the podcast now and come back in I don't know,
5 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
All right. So next episode is supposed to be, what if Thor was banished to Earth but was still worthy of his mantle? That's a stupid concept. I don't even know what that means.
So it's going to be fully Thor on Earth.
Yeah, so what? We've seen that. Oh, maybe it's like, what if Thor... no, I don't even know what that's going to be like. Who knows? Then we have...
He just can't come back. They turned off the Bifrost. That's the only difference.
Yeah, I don't know who knows. Then we get an episode where Tony Stark is saved by Killmonger. We'll go get that episode.
I think that'll be a good one. I hope.
Yeah, and then we have an episode here that could be the zombies.
Yeah, I was looking at this earlier. It looks like people are confused on whether the zombies is going to be third from last or second from last.
Yeah. Do you see the listing for episode 9? Did you read that?
I don't remember what it was.
I'm reading it right now. In an alternate timeline, Vision becomes an all-powerful android known as Infinite Ultron when merged with rival android Ultron. Now, it's up to the newly formed Guardians of the Multiverse to put an end to his reign before... I was right. Yeah. It could be false. It could be fake. But it looks like I was right. There's one missing though. There's definitely an episode where Spider-Man becomes Sorcerer Supreme, and it's not listed here.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those dupe zombie entries. Has to be the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that I am definitely not looking forward to.
You don't know that. It could be good. So we'll have to just wait and see. Anyway, not bad stuff. Not bad.
Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about this? Like we already hit on Cagliostro. Is there something about him you want to tell us?
Yes.
Other than the fact that was in fact him, and he goes by O-Bengh.
Yes, I do. That's something very important. Okay, now I don't know this for sure. I could be wrong, but do you remember the scene where Doctor Strange is begging the Watcher to help?
Yeah.
And then the Watcher says he can't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is reminiscent of the first time the Fantastic Four meets the Watcher. And I forget what number, but it's really early on. Galactus, the World Eater, the big monster dude, comes to Earth and wants to destroy the Earth and eat it. the Watcher actually does intervene and helps the Fantastic Four. It was the first time he ever did that. He said, "I'm intervening for the first time ever. I never do this." I think that this could be an avenue for them to maybe introduce the Fantastic Four. I don't know, but here's something I definitely do know. At some point in this series, probably at the last episode, the Watcher is going to intervene because he's already set up. Because it's already been set up that he didn't this time, but I think he will. I think he definitely will the last episode because it's a
Makes
narrative
sense.
arc, right?
Makes sense.
So it's a narrative arc he was building, right? And so at some point we have to get a climax, and what better climax is for the Watcher to do something that he wasn't supposed to do. And maybe it's going to be a long-term thing. Like maybe however he intervenes, whatever he does is going to affect the MCU moving forward. Who knows? I'll just wait and see.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, Mike, we had a special event this week. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Well, we had a question or a comment from Twitter this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. Do you have the tweet in front of you?
I do not. No.
I think I'll find it real quick.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I had a note while you're doing that. I had a note that the ending narration for this episode was bad. Do you happen to remember what that is?
No, I thought it was fun. The tweet. So here's the tweet you sent.
Okay.
Dane Whitman was cursed by an inherited sword to become the Black Knight. He doesn't have anything to do with the Eternals in the comics. But then Pam Cakes, or the Twitter handle Home Sweet Haven, said, "You missed the part in the Black Knight bio you attached where Dane has been in a long-term relationship with the Eternal Cersei. It wove throughout the entire Gatherer saga and into the Ultraverse. He's got plenty to do with them in the comics." I did not know that Black Knight and Cersei had a thing. I did not know that. I was firmly corrected. Thank you very much. And that was a tweet from our listener, hopefully, Pancakes. Thank you, Pancakes, for that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. Jay's been looking for somebody to correct him on some of his
well, I mean,
stuff.
come on. There's so much going on, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Apparently it's a scandal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the comics or in the fandom?
In the comics, there's a scandal about it.
I know you've been dipping into the Eternals a little bit in preparation for the movie. You haven't come across that since then?
I've been really enjoying it. I've been really, really enjoying it. It's the original Jack Kirby comics, and it's been fantastic. It's so many though. It's like the entire collection, so I really have to keep going. But from what I'm seeing right now, just from what I'm reading, first of all, Jack Kirby was a genius. The story is so fun to read. And then second, it could be a really interesting movie plot for the story. I don't want to ruin it for anyone.
Right.
From what I'm reading, there's some cool things that they could do if the creative team behind the Eternals movie took the comics, read them all, and took the best stuff out of comics to make this movie. It's gonna be super awesome. It's gonna be really cool. Cooler than people think. I think
cooler than you thought.
Yeah. Oh, way cooler than I thought. I think that this could be a surprise hit for me. I think it's going to be a pretty good Marvel movie, or it could just fall completely apart. We'll have to just wait and see.
What about Shang-Chi? Have you been reading up on that?
I have not. There's not a whole bunch of great Shang-Chi comics. There's a few.
Have you read them already, or?
No, I haven't had time. So I'm going to spend some time maybe this weekend trying to get into them.
Didn't know if you hit those when they first came out or not.
No, but I'm definitely looking forward to Shang-Chi. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, just for the fighting.
Yeah, just for a Marvel Kung Fu movie. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Right.
It's going to be awesome. Pretty excited.
Which, by the way, listeners, our next podcast is going to be about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, man. So definitely tune in to see what we think about Shang-Chi and let us know. Hopefully you guys be safe when you go. Maybe skip the popcorn and the drink.
I'm skipping the popcorn and drinks. I'm gonna make sure I'm good to go before I get there and mask on the whole time.
That's like really depressing to me. Can we just stop and talk about going to see a movie in the theater and not getting popcorn and drink? is like the worst. It's like that's one of the only things I look forward to. I get to eat this nasty big ass bucket of popcorn, and I get to drink this syrupy drink, and no one can say anything to me because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm in a movie theater. Like, what do you want me to do? Eat an apple?
Crunch, crunch.
So maybe I can go and no one's in there. But that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, be safe. Keep your mask on. Be vaccinated. But I do want to, just real quick, I do want to say, Disney Plus, Disney, come on. Like, make these movies on streaming. Put them on your streaming service. Make us pay $30 so we can watch it.
Right.
It's not really cool for you guys to make us go to a movie theater right now. And I know you're not making us do it, but it's just not a good look on you guys to do this. Like, it's just not. What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I'm totally on board with you. I really hope they change their mind in between this one and Spider-Man. And also, they've said so. Like the window for the theater is 45 days from when it debuts in theaters to when it's going to show up on Disney Plus. I mean, I don't know what the box office is going to be like this, but yeah, 45 days.
That's just, what's the point? 45 days is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely shorter than it used to be. It used to be like what? 6 months at least, a year? Yeah.
Oh, it'd be a year before you see it on a streaming service usually.
Yeah,
so it'd be like 6 months.
So it's 45 days this time. I'm kind of hoping they shorten that.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. It's 2021. Okay, put the movie out in the theaters. Put it out on Blu-ray. Put it out on streaming. Put it out so you can buy it on demand. Put it out every way you want, and people are going to purchase it and see it the way they want. Like, I want to see a movie at the theater because it's fun. Like, saying that I have to, like, saying that this is the only way I get to see it, otherwise I can't. It doesn't work. Because I get to make that choice. Come on, it's the future, guys. It's the future. If you want movie theaters to survive, give people a choice, and school will work out. Like, it's just silly. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they figure out something else to do for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Mike, you be careful when you go see that movie.
Yep. You too.
I will. Where can people listen to our podcast?
You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify. Those are the big three, at least as far as our listeners go. We're also on YouTube.
Yeah, I listened to our last episode of Loki. I listened to that on YouTube, and you know what? It was a really good episode.
Yeah,
we had a big fight about. Remember that big fight we had about the Loki and what's her face, Sylvie. Yeah.
I think I pulled a few good clips and put those on YouTube out of that episode.
Yeah, we should go back. It's funny. Okay, you should do a best of. You should do a best of show one day.
Yeah, all the good clips.
Yeah,
that sounds like a Christmas thing, maybe.
Yeah, this sounds all right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you next time, Mike, for Shang-Chi.
Yeah, see you then.